And we're back. And we're back. Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. WARTIME ZOOMSHTEIG 17117. Kig and gig. No one's here yet in shig. A little shear. Middle of shear over here. Hold on, I gotta get the Yitzhak, the saver, the Revitzage, goods. No, I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of sharp. Garbage can. It's not a dot on this, but I hear you. If you want to put the, listen, if there ever negotiation about that, I guess you can close it. But the Machalam, you're gonna never hide. Cheer today, sponsored by Juice and Drink for you. A little confusion today. 170 classic. Kofi Zion. And we're back. Oh, now it's too dark. I know, I got it. On the leg time, Revitzage? I got it. Okay. Okay. In the schus of the soldiers and in the schus of the captives, I bring to y'all new maysa, hu daisa. Yeshivas Geulas Shaul, ein Gimel, Amud Baisa. So they have the schlicks, the Harry, and we're back. And we're back. Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. So, Harry, the latest Gemaras that we've been seeing don't even have a gra. So we've been learning a lot of Rabbi Nachman. It's been pretty geschmack.
Oh, now we're talking.
And now we got new maysa, hu daisa. V'amar Rabba Ḥana, zog Rabba Ḥana, zimna chaza, hava azulinan b'safinta. One time I was going in a safina, v'chazina nahu tzifra. What did I see? A void. So it's a tzipora l'chara. Tzipora l'chara. Dikaim ad kartzuleih b'maya. So I think that means is that, you know how birds have like heels, like on their feet? They have like heels.
Chickens have roosters have spurs on their feet, like on the back.
I don't know about pigs. I'm just saying all fish, they have like fish ankles. I mean bird ankles.
Bird ankles, yeah. I'm with you.
Right? So he was up to his bird ankles in water. Viroshe birakia. And his reshe, his head was at the firmament, at the rakia, at the frozen oxygen. Yo, Harry, we've been talking a lot about what's going on. You know, Yeshivas Geulas Shaul talking about what's going on once he started fragging shilas on the globe. And a new shot, maybe we can understand the rakia, is that in our earth, we have oxygen that we breathe. When you go higher up, right? The chora further away from the sun, which is pretty close, you go higher up, and then the oxygen begins to turn into a liquid. And that's the mayim elyonim in the Torah. When the Torah talks about mayim elyonim, you go even higher up, and the oxygen will actually turn into a blue glass. That's why this guy is blue. And that's what we're talking about, the rakia. It's just frozen oxygen.
Interesting shot. I love that.
It could be very, very interesting. It could answer
I,
a bunch of
that
questions.
was that was some crazy stuff. I was just suspecting the other day that when Rabbi Nachman was talking about like angels like going back and forth and delivering tefillos and stuff, I was thinking about it. I saw a scientific study that says when you cry and the water freezes, it crystallizes in a certain way to show you that the nature of what caused you to cry will give you a unique tear. And what happens to a tear after you cry? It evaporates and goes to the heavens. And the tear and water contains information, it stores information. So like in the tears is literally what you were thinking about at the kavanah at the time of crying, and then the heavens receive it, and they're like, "Oh, now we could now we're communicating with you. We get your message."
Very geschmack, Rabbi H. Great Nakuda. We know that water, the way it's different way the water forms, different crystals when it freezes, based on the word that was said to it. Har, I'm going to take it one step up. What if each one of these different, like each one, like different words, different intentions, they have that causes the water to have different different forms, and each one of those forms looks like a different one of the star forms. Now, what I'm saying is hashtag research ether. That's all I'm saying on the matter. Research ether. And I gave a research ether and it got censored on Instagram. Just researching ether. So you know we're on the right track. Okay.
Wow. All right. All right. Let's go.
Let's go. So it was going. Rabbi Ḥana was going on the Mish. Oh, and he's the Mish. He was on a boat. Right. And I think that means he was up to like his ankles in water and his head was by the rakia, which might be just frozen oxygen. They talk about O3. They talk about things. It's very interesting to, right? Because the oxygen we breathe is O2. So what's going on with this O3? What really is it? And what is the rakia? O4? Who said that? Who could possibly say it? Because it's a pshat? No, I would never. It's ever just we're just vibing. But that's the rakia. Oxygen. L'chaira. That may be glass. It's a dome above flat Earth. One thing that's for sure is there's no rakia on a globe. Okay. Ve'amrinan lake Maya. V'ba'inan lachos. So they say there was no water. We need wetness. Le'akure nafshin. To do something to the souls. Maybe I'm reading on that they say that there's no water. Who is saying that there's no water? Maybe it's the Mesivta of the Rakia, right? And when you see, don't say water, water, right? And all of a sudden he's in the Rakia and there's no water. But we need some wetness. Shalom Aleichem, Marina Grumberg. And she's gone. But she will always go down in the annals of Yeshivas Geulas Shaul as a Talmida. V'ba'ina lagos la'kure as a member, as a Halakha member. What? Yeshivas Geulas Shaul doesn't have girls? What about Marina? And he's gone. Okay. La'kure nafshin, to do something with souls. Nafak bas kola. So here, a bas kol comes out. V'amar la, and he says to us, Lo tichuso hacha dinafaltale chatzitza levar nagra. Don't come down here. Maybe like from the version of nachas, like tichusa, like don't come down here because it fell a chatzitza. Now there happens to be a nakuta here. It's still very dark. Chatzitza, chatzina maybe. It says the novele chatzina. Oh, my favorite pen. Chatzina. Varnagra, to the son of a wood maker or something, a nagar. Hashav Shani Vilokamatya. I don't know. He went back. He didn't. All right. He didn't come back to the land. Not because there was so much water. We're back to the water. To the water. Maya, because the water was, I don't know, like coming down unceasingly. Amar Rav Ashi, says Rav Ashi, Hahu Ziz Shadayus. Is this Ziz? Is Shadai? Because it says Ziz Shadai Amadu. Okay, we made it through the new maysa. We did our best. DVJ Harry, you got any thoughts on the maysa?
I have lots of thoughts on these type of matters, but it depends where you want to take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, talked about what are some things that we noticed. Talk about the rakia. That's something that we got to get shot on. The bird. What's shot this bird? And up to his feet.
We know that the spherod are connected to planets, and they're connected to each other, and that the planets aren't Hefker and Stam things that's controlling our whole entire reality.
There is an influence. These planets, the Rambam calls them kartzuleih lechet, which is like traveling stars or something. They look like lights, bro. These planets, these planets, they look like lights. But for sure that there's a lot of truth to astrology or astronomy. The one that tries to understand the celestial beings, the heavens and stuff. But today, do we know about it? I want to know about Adar. I want someone to explain to me why Adar is Pisces and what does that have to do with the fish. I haven't heard shot yet, but
I did. I heard the craziest shot in the entire world.
let's go. What's shot?
There's one rabbi now out of Toronto. I don't even think he got smicha, and he's dropping the craziest Torahs in the entire planet. I'm like listening to his stuff like it's a addictive drug.
I think you told me about this guy. What was his name?
Ephraim Pavlonov. I don't know. He's a biochemist, so he's like a scientist by nature and like reality.
The globe guy that you shared on Instagram.
I don't know which guy.
You shared a picture of
Yeah.
globe, and I was like, this guy's got a globe. Like either she better doesn't know what he's talking about.
No. When he just gave the craziest drasha ever on the timeline of the Geula connected to the constellations and how the sun calendar is part of the Torah and Messiah, and it has a role in halacha and kedusha.
I mean, we see that it does. But first of all, how is that relevant to this figure right here?
I'm saying you asked about Pisces and this. I said this guy just gave a drush of a lifetime on it.
And what did he say about Pisces? I'll check it out. I'll check out that.
I'm telling you, I'm not even smart
even though he
enough
has
to
the
cop
Earth
what
as
he's
a
saying.
globe, so I'm quoting him. I'm quoting him off the bat.
No, but let's ask him. Yeah, you could be choishish. You should be choishish everyone.
The raya is the globe, bro. Guys, this guy is
Yeah, but what, he has another image to use? We don't have any image of anything. There's no images. He needs an image right away. He's hustling. He's got tachlis. He's got his eye on the prize.
I hear you. I would never, but I hear you. Okay. Anyways, back to the Gemara. So it's in the Rakia. And by the way, the Rakia and constellations very much have to do with each other. So very good point, Aaron. The constellations, the Gemara, the first platter of the Gemara that we saw was Tachim, Taf Tzadi Dalet, back during pandemic times. And we saw that there's an argument if the mazalos, the constellations are moving and the rakia is stationary, or maybe the rakia is stationary and the mazalos are moving. Shalom Aleichem, Yael. Vus machst the Ravir. So there's a bird, and his feet were up to ankles in water. Maybe he was standing deep in the water, but he was so big and his head reached to the rakia, to the dome above flat earth. The Amrina Lake Maya. So they said, there's no water. Wait a second. Water? Rakia? When have we seen water and rakia together? When they went to the Pardes, right? They went Allah Rakia Ayadeshem, and Rabbi Akiva says, Al Domru Mayim Mayim. So again, we're dealing with water, and there's water above. This idea of water above might be just because the oxygen in our atmosphere, when it goes up, it gets colder, it turns into a liquid, and gets colder and turns into a dome, a rakia, a glass. Possibly blue. We need to do an experiment. So he says, Uba'in and lachos, we need wetness. So let's see the Rashbam. He says, V'chazina lo'ut sifri. Sifra. So the Rashbam says it's sifra. That's the correct girsa. And guess what? That is the girsa that we have. So they saw a bird. Amrina Lake Amaya. So the bird, his head went all the way up to the rakia, but Amrina Lake Amaya. And they said, so who said? Hayu Savurim She'ein on Amukim Hoil Velokai B'Maya Ella Ad kartzuleih. They thought that it wasn't so big, this bird. He's only up, there's only a little bit of water over there because it's up to his feet. So he's probably stepping in like a few inches of water up to his feet. That's what they thought. That's Amrina. And we said Lake Amaya. V'ba'inan lachos. So stay like this. Wait, hold on. I gotta get more into the liggity light. How's everyone doing today?
Baruch Hashem. We were just in Name Kamaya note and we saw some of the places where Reish Lakish Tainas is Gan Eden.
Oh, Gavaldi. I saw you were up there.
Yom Yom.
Yeah. Over here. Day by day, here and over here. So he says like this. V'ba'inan lachos. But so we needed wetness. The akure nafshin to catch souls. The Navak Baskola, a Basko came out. The Amarla, and he says that Lo tichuso, haka, dinafal delay chatzitza. And Rashi says Garzain o matzar. Matzad. It seems to be like don't rest here because an axe fell here. Levar Nagra of a woodworker. Ha Shav Shani Velokamadya Ara. The tree cutter, a lumberjack, Levar Nagra. The lumberjack dropped his axe. Hashav Shani Velokamadya Ara. He returned twice, or he learned, but he did not arrive at the land. The Lav Mishum Dinafishi Maya. It wasn't because there was so much water. El Mishum Diradfi Maya. That the water was running. And the Rashbam, he doesn't say Dinafishi Maya. He says Damiki Maya. It wasn't because the water was so deep. So what does that mean? Malech Sheva Shanim is 7 years to walk. Lo Igia Achatita Lekarka. So this axe, it's been falling for 7 years and didn't reach the karka, didn't reach the ground. Elamishrum the Redive Maya, because the water is running. Mitoch Charifas Hanar is going so fast or so spicily. Lohaya Nitzlal Adayin. It didn't sink yet. The low machmas ha'omek bilvad, not just because of how deep it was, but because the water is running, right? Because there's running water, the axe still hasn't hit the ground. It's still sinking to this day. And so says Rav Ashi, Hahu Ziz. This Ziz is Shaddai. Yo, what? The Ziz? What's a Ziz? We gotta research that ziggity Ziz.
I just got a great etymology today of the word disease.
Oh, not dizzy. This is just says Ziz. But let's hear
Oh, I
it.
thought it said disease.
Zion Yud Zion.
Oh, Z's.
Ziz is Shaddai. It's a pasuk in Shir Hashirim. In Tehillim, sorry. Yadadi kol ovarim v'ziz Shaddai imadi. Harry, can you do us a favor and look up Tehillim? Oh, we actually have a Tehillim right here. Rabbi, you could if you
What's
want.
Ziz Shaddai? The bird. That's the bird Rabbi Nachman talks about. The Ziz Shaddai.
Gewaldig. Tehillim Nun Yud Aleph.
I'm familiar with this bird.
You're familiar with this bird?
I think the Makor for it maybe in Tehillim or something, and Rabbi
Yeah,
Nachman speaks
Tehillim. I
about
told
it.
you, Tehillim Nun Yud Aleph.
Yeah, Rabbi Nachman speaks of Ziz Shaddai. Yeah. And it's. I remember now everything's coming back to me for
Yo,
some
where's the
strange
Rabbi
reason.
Nachman? Where's the Rabbi Nachman? We're looking for it. We don't see it, but it's gotta be here soon, right? So somewhere, right? It's not exactly time for it, but the Rabbi Nachman, gewaltig, Shtayach. Okay, Harry, which Rabbi Nachman is it? Do you have it in front of you right now? Where's Schligs?
I could get it within like the next 15 minutes.
Okay, sounds perfect. But hopefully we'll be able
Yeah,
to
I know
find
you
it. I
can
want to take a look at the Marsha.
however you want, but Safaria has it sadai, not Shaddai.
Wait, hold on. Before we bring in Safaria disease, we have disease. Before we bring in Safaria translation, if a yid wants to look at it to like understand more what's going on while we're trying to figure it out, it's okay. But before we bring in Safaria, let's take a look at the pasuk that actually mentions
Not
it.
translation, Nikudot. Not the translation.
Ah,
Yeah,
what
the
is the
Nikudot
Nikudot?
I'm
Okay,
referring
Nikudot also, but
to.
what does the Nikudot say?
They have different Nikudot. Sadai, like my field, and not Shaddai. I know you can read it however you want because there's no Nikudot in the Torah, but
Sadai. That's
the way
good.
they have
No,
it
that's
is it's
good.
my field.
Sadai. That makes a lot of sense. What a shot from Rabbi. What a shot. Disease Sadai. But what is Ziz Sadai Imadi? I want to see the pasuk. Robinson, reading the pasuk. Okay, can I see? Yeah, I'll take a look. Sky Gods. Which pasuk is it? Yud Aleph? Okay. So it says, Yadati ko ovarim. I knew all birds of the mountains. Disease Sadai Imadi. It says Sadai. Great call. So disease Sadai. It's a good thing we're blinded out here. Disease Sadai. So what does it say? It says, I take not from your household any bull, nor from your pens any goats. No, that can't be. It's not the right one. No, sorry, I got confused. Sorry. I know every bird of the mountains. And so we're dealing with bird, by the way, in this story. So that's why I know that this is an important puzzle. I took every bird of the mountains, and what creeps upon my field is pains. Yo, I gotta use that word in Scrabble. No, sorry. Is what creeps upon my field is with me. Sorry. Not half of the word mountains. Okay, what creeps upon my field is with me. So so what is he saying out here? He's saying it's disease sadai, because it says disease sadai is with me. Okay. So on wait a second. Okay, hold on, wait a tick. Mefarshim. So we do have Ben Yoyada on this. We have a few Rashbams that we learned them all already. There's no Marsha. There is a Rabbeinu Gershom. Let's take a look at the Rabbeinu Gershom, of course. So now, before we get to understand what this story is really saying allegorically, we first need to get shot. What's it saying? What are the words? Right?
Shot with what?
Oh, we're back!
And we're back.
That's
We're
like, we're back. No, it's also Harry. Ask the question. What I can't see what you wrote, but you could ask the Q. Ziz.
I said that Targum says it's a tarnagol of some sort. And I thought that's interesting.
Ziz, a tarnagle. Well, we know we're dealing with a boy. The Ziz sadai. How do they translate it in this thing? They say, "What creeps up on my field?" Like Ziz is to zooz, like lazuz is to move, right? And a Ziz is a little creeper, a little mover, right? A mover and a shaker. Said he had 1,000 acres. The Ziz sadai, acres of field, the field of a mover in field. Okay, we have to see what is this bird, this type of bird. And it was so big, his head was in the rakia. Now in Yeshivas Geulas Shaul, we've been thinking a long time, what's a rakia? And we've been working about it, talking about it. It could be the oxygen of our atmosphere. It gets colder, it gets turned into water, it gets colder, it turns into solid, it turns into a glass, and that is the rakia. But what is the rakia? We have to look into it. Zog the Heliga Rabbeinu Gershom over here. He says Chatzina is a garzin, so it's the axe. The axe is falling. What do they mean by that? V'ziz sadai imadi shahayarosho magia l'shamayim. What? How do they know it's the ziz sadai? How do they know that it's the field mover and shaker, the acre shaker? How do they know it's the acre shaker? Like, how do they know it's the acre shaker? It's the acre shaker because it says the ziz sadai is with me. Zog the Abishter, it's with me. The ziz sadai. Oh, it must be in the rakia. Oh, yeah, it must be that bird that they saw in the rakia. Ziz sadai imadi. Yo, nothing like a Heliger Rabbeinu Gershom to come and give us Heliger Rabbeinu Gershom. Which Rabbeinu Gershom is this? This is not Rabbeinu Gershom, the Rebbe of Rashi. Nah, it's not. It's not. Shleik, can you look up who this Rabbeinu Gershom is?
Yeah.
Sky floods. That's what I say now. I say sky floods because we're dealing with Rabba Ḥana, so I say sky floods. Sky floods. So there's a lot of water, but the water never stopped, and it was called. Okay. Any more Rajbams? Okay. So now we're gonna learn about who Rabbeinu Gershom was, and maysa, we're gonna see if we can find where Rabbi Nachman talked about this maysa, if at all.
I have one. I found one Rabbeinu Gershom.
Yeah, more Agola,
Rabbeinu Gershom ben Yehuda.
more Agola.
I don't know. I don't know what that phrase means, but I think this Rabbeinu Gershom, he died in Mainz. Was that the same guy that we read about in Tzana Toikef?
Sounded Tiggs? No, I don't know. I don't know. Blind. Okay. Harry, if you could find where Rabbi Nachman talks about no. That's what the Gra is gonna talk about, but right? Through our righteous, the ground and the sky kiss. So there's a bunch of Rabbi Ḥana stories. But I don't see the one that Rabbi Nachman talks about. So since I can't find the Rebbe Nachman, and I would like to see the Rebbe Nachman, so you're gonna say, so what are we gonna do? So one thing that we could do is we could see Rebbe Nachman on one of the other maysas that we already saw before, like we were seeing the Rebbe Nachman. That's an option. But there's another option, and that is to see the Halak of Ben Yehoyada on this sugya. Is it long? It's pretty long. But we love the Ben Yehoyada. There's no Maharsha, there's no Gra, there's no Rebbe Nachman we have yet. Let's see the Sfardim shot. We love the Sfardim. Zimna chada hava gazlinon disafinta. One time I was going to Vinta, Chazoya Itziparta. I saw a Boyd near Yad Mishmaya. What?
No, I said a Boyd by accident, but I just want to let you know
no.
we got 14 minutes to get through it.
Perfect. We'll do our best. Near Yad Mishmaya Bisafinta. I was in a Renzolomar Limud Asod. We know the Ben Yehoyada when he's explaining what it means that they were in a boat. They were learning kabbalah. They were learning Chachmas and Nister. Is the most important thing of the learning. And they were learning, and all of a sudden, a big Chacham who learned a lot of Kabbalah appeared to them, or his damin came to them. That's why we call him a bird. We're learning about all these animals, the birds and the fish and the frogs. They're all Talmidei Chachamim. And so he's a bird. The V'techila lo ikiru. He was talking cryptically. He was talking in riddles. Kasher diber asaba kadisha im Rabbi Chia v'Rabbi Yossi b'Zohar Parshas Mishpatim. Pause. Schligs, Harry, Yoel, DVJ.
Over here.
Who is this Saba Kadisha?
Hard blind.
Oh, hard blind over here. Kasher Diber, the Saba Kadisha spoke with Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi in the Zayar.
This is the Shechina is talking about like Hashem.
It's not a bad shot. Maybe it's the Shechina, the Saba Kadisha. Why are you specifically referring to the Saba Kadisha as Saba Kadisha? If it's the Shechina, but one possibility here.
Oh, he's talking about the Partsufim. He's talking about certain ketters and activations of the spheros.
Nah. We're not getting it. We're not getting there unless he mentions it beferish. I don't care. Like,
yeah, I don't swim in deep
all
water.
we have now, and maybe he is talking about Keser. Maybe he is talking about some sort of Indian about that. But right now we have a spiritual concept that we don't know the pshat in, and that's okay. It's okay to bleib fair. To say Saba Kadisha, what is it? I don't know. But it spoke with Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi in the Zohar and Parshas Mishpatim. By the way, Parshas Mishpatim, everyone thinks, oh, it's just a bunch of laws. It's just Bava Kaba, Metzia, Bava Basra. They don't remember that the end of Parshas Mishpatim is the most Kabbalistic part of the entire Torah. Maybe except maysa Brachos. You know, with Livnat HaSafir, they saw Hashem, they saw the blue. The maysa, I had a Livnat HaSafir t-shirt, long sleeve shirt today, and I gave it to my friend. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but you know, they should give us Yad Dishmaya to get shot in the Livnat HaSafir and all this Saba Kadisha stuff. To have a kai ad kartzuleih b'maya, up his foot in water. Risono lomar ayanira sheyesh lo me'at taira. Hanikreis mayim. It just looked that he had just a little bit of taira. What? He wore his hat backwards. This guy just looked like there was a little bit of taira. V'nikrai mayim. Shu shir mayim amagim ad kartzuleih. Ach be'emes, he was a chacham gadol that his reishay was in the rakia, his head was in the rakia. You look at him, you're like, what? This guy's got Torah up to the ankles, but really, this guy's head was in the rakia. Shu chacham gadol b'chachmas and nistaros. He knew about kabbalah. He knew about the hidden truth of flat Earth. Not a lot of people know about the hidden truth of flat Earth, and when they hear it, they kick. And they say, no, it's not true. Right? Not everyone's at the level to be able to come to the truth about our world. Okay. Right? Well, because Chachmas and Nisr talks about the Rakia. Kabbalah talks about the firmament. If a yid has a picture of a globe in space, and he has no firmament, Rahman al-Itzlan, the heliocentric global mamish avodas hashemesh. Okay, so but someone who learns Kabbalah, he's dealing with the firmament, he's dealing with the Rakia. He's not ignoring the Rakia, like NASA wants us to do. Chalila. Ubitachila paginu bo rinan leis maya. When they first got to him, they said, "There's no water." The things this guy's talking about is not Torah. He's just talking about flat earth all day. Torah is called water. So like, there's no water here. Because you're Rabbi Yossi, al Dvar shall Saba Kadisha. When Rabbi Yossi thought about the words of Saba Kadisha, Shehem Rekim, that they're empty, God forbid. Achar he karnu bo. They realized he's a big we gave our right. We're like, yo, this guy. We thought he was just some random Saba Kadisha just telling us stories like Rachamim. They're just like spreading stories. Rachamim hopefully is Saba Kadisha as well. But the truth is that if you went down to the if you give your brain and your intellect to think about it, to go to the depth of the Dvarim, the Ravos, as Kamonenu Bahem. He said things that quenched their thirst of what they wanted to know. Vizet Ba'ina, wow. Vizet Amar Uba'ina Lemechos Le'akure Nafshin. In our Gemara, it doesn't say Lemechos, it's the new Girsa. In our Gemara, it says Uba'ina Lachus, but it doesn't say lemechos. And the mechos could mean what they wanted to melt. So we wanted to go down. Maybe the mechos, I don't know, like kure nafje. We wanted to go down the webs, maybe we wanted to learn and to quench our thirst to know Torah. Basco comes down and says, Lo tuchlu hacha. You cannot come to the deepest of the secrets. Asher davar desodos ha'ela sha'amar b'hem ome gadol ki mikadmas dinan. Oh, you guys don't want to come to this very, very, very deep Kabbalah? You know what happens to the ones that came before you? An act from someone was chopping down trees. He was really figuring out what's going on in these forests of Eilam Hazda. And he dropped an axe over here. And then 7 years and it hasn't gotten down to the ground. Perish Barnagra. So what does it mean that someone was chopping down trees? It's Chacham and Pulpo. It's a big Talmud Chacham. Kamosha Amru, like these names of Avodah Zarah. No numbered days. Tricha Nagar Uvar Nagar. We need a Talmud Chacham and a son of a Talmud Chacham. Those are Chacham and Pulpo. Naftalah Chatzina. This big Talmud Chacham, he dropped an axe. Perish Kushia Achas Misodos Elus Dabar Bam. Zeh Chacham Ata. וזה 7 שנים שלא היה יכול לרדת לעומק הסוד, משכח לפתרי. He hasn't found an answer. There's one question in all of this Kabbalah that he's thinking about for 7 years and it still hasn't hit the ground. He still doesn't have a shot. It's not because there's so much water. Love mishum deterut akushia taloi b'hakdamas ravim shalasodos. It's not because the reason he doesn't know the Kabbalah is because he doesn't have the basis for it. He doesn't know all of the Kabbalah and the secrets that come before it. There's so much water, so he can't figure it out. It's not a question of quantity. Why it's so hard for anyone to really comprehend the secrets of Torah. אלא משום דרדיפי מאיה, כי הקדומה של סודות הזה עמוקה מאוד והיא מדברת בעניין זמן הקטנון. It's so deep. The water is so deep that, but it's not about that there's so much. It's just that even if there's not, it's because of how deep it is. And so he still hasn't gotten to the bottom of it. He's chopping down, he's chopping down, he's chopping down, but he still hasn't gotten to the bottom. This Bar Nagra. The Kamo Inin Soda Tosefta. So this is like the idea of the secret of the Tosefta. Hamidaber is Kriyas Yamsuf. Look about Kriyas Yamsuf. Shekaz the Rabbeinu Moreno Rav Chaim Vital Zatzal. Ah, there's a reason to make there's a reason, there's a reason, there's a reason to make V'zel Shono. Ubazeh is Bayer Lecha Lashon Ma'amar Echad Misefer Azor. He's like, this will explain Zar, but about Kriyas Yamsuf. We're learning about the water. Really, such a huge part of Tzias Mitzrayim was the water, was Kriyas Yamsuf, and they made their water Vayishitzu Hamayim, and it turned into dam. And Moshe, Minamayim Mishisu. Moshe was taken from the water. You know, that's a big Indian. So in the Indian of Kriyas
Yamsuf, point.
Oh, thanks, Rabbi. How much time do we got left, by the way? Can I have my juke or something? Maybe I can have message juke even just something. In this thing, do not ask and do not test the Eibishter. It's very deep. What does it mean? Don't test the Eibishter. He went so far. By the way, hiflig, to go far, also has to do with to sail out. And he's hiflig, and he went so far to hide secrets, to hide a secret. This thing, don't ask. Hashem Bar Yochai is saying, don't ask me about this idea. Uviyom asher mori zal bir lanu ma'amar hazeh. Says the Ben Ish Chai. Does someone want to find out who the Ben Ish Chai was? We think maybe the Benjamin Rivka. You want to check out who the Ben Ish Chai was? Benjamin Ishi.
No, he was.
Yeah.
Rav Yosef Chaim.
Yosef Chaim, Gewaldig.
Chacham Yosef Chaim.
Gewaldig.
I don't know much more than that, but I know that he's buried here in Yerushalayim.
Gewaldig. Okay, great. Yosef Chaim. So why is he Ben Ish Chai Ben Yehuda? When did he live, Rebbetzin? When did he live?
He lived in the last
he was born in 1834. When did he die?
1909.
All right. So this is this guy was alive when the Shibud Malchias made a fake experiment called the Morris and Morley experiment to disprove ether. This guy was alive during that time. This guy was alive most of this guy's life. He was living with the knowledge that there's ether in the belt. Okay, so
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, so why did Rashi say don't ask this thing when the Ben Ish Chai's Rebbe told him this Bible? They were in the field under a tree, and there was a raven, and it was yelling like ravens do.